Good afternoon, glitter goddesses. I am here on Sunday, September 29th. We're going to finish the Dorian pocket. The Dorian pocket from heck. It's from heck. Okay. Woo! Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to get notifications of these little sneaky shows. Hit the bell icon so you always know when we're live. All right. So the last thing we had done was we had finished this side. Isn't this my this is my models, my model family. These are my models that I used. For a while I used to put photos in albums instead of, that was before I made the stamp. Before I made the favorite photo stamp, I bought photos. It's, the stamp was a lot cheaper. The stamp was having the stamp manufactured was a lot cheaper than buying photos. Photos are expensive. Okay. So the last thing we did was we did this side of the book. So if you recall, the book has kind of a couple different sides. It has this main inside piece here, which we still have to do. And then it has the sides, and we've done one side, but we have to do the other side, and then we'll be done. So let's lay it out, I guess. Yeah, let's lay it out. And I had cut this because I guess I intended to put it somewhere. And right there is a pretty good place, so it may end up there. And I clearly made tags, so we just have to decorate. That's all we have to do. All right. Decorating. It's what we're doing. Get all my little decorating pieces out. Ta-da! Okay. All right, let's think about what we can do. So that's too big. That's too big. This piece, I actually think we could probably angle it. So this is, yes, I think this is Echo Park. Families Forever, I believe, is what it is. I forgot, actually. I forgot. Look, it's a little owl with a little, we have to cut this out. Our Family Story, maybe? I think Our Family Story sounds more correct. Which doesn't mean it is correct. It just means it sounds more correct to me. I've been cooking all day. We're working on our second of our meals for the week. We did the lasagna, so the lasagna is done. And now I'm working on curried chickpeas and chicken thighs. And so we want to have 18 servings of it, 9 servings for this week and 9 servings to go in the freezer. So that's 36 chicken thighs. Because we like to do 2 chicken thighs because they're smaller than breasts. And so the whole house smells like garam masala right now. So I'm just going to tear the washi tape. if it ever becomes cool enough. Soup is not like hugely appetizing in Florida, because it's almost like I mean, I eat soup just because it's a quick, easy lunch, but it's never something you're like, oh, I can't wait for soup season, because it never comes. It never comes. There's no such thing as soup season. The last thing you was like a nice hot cup of soup. You're like, oh, it's only 90 today. Maybe I'll have some soup. Ooh. But if it does ever get cold, then we know. How many album makers actually put photos in their albums? I have some with photos and some without. For me, it's a matter of, usually for my memory keeping, I do 12 by 12. Like, my photos usually end up on 12 by 12 layouts. Because I have found it's better if I don't put photos in albums, because it doesn't, photos kind of lead people down a particular path in regards to what an album is for. And I think it helps people visualize their own photos in it if I just do the photo stamp. Now, having photos in it is better than having nothing indicating where the photos go. So I don't put in the albums, I don't put photos too much, not really anymore. That was kind of a phase I went through with my fake family, with my models. I did that for, I would say, probably a year. But yeah, Jill said when I do albums, I add the photos as I decorate. If I was going to, that's how I would probably want to do it as well. Because that way, and then what you would do is leave the pages separate. And then when you run out of photos, then you stop. And then you just do as many binding pieces as you need. So that's something to think about when you're, if you're making it as a gift for someone and you're just going to use the stamp and blank photo mats, then it doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want and just be creative and have fun with that. But if you're thinking about like you're doing it for yourself, what I would do is I would just make the pages, and then when you run out of photos, then you're done. And then that's your album. You know, and then so if you have 3 pages at that point, then you do 4 fins. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you do 4 because you always do 1 more than you have pages. And that's how with the infinity binding, you know, you always have, it can always be exactly the right size. I just think if I put this one right here, it's a lot of wood, so I'm not going to, and it won't work as well here. So, all right, that's fine. I could do something with the It All Starts With Family. Could do that there. Let's just start. I just am layering. I'm just playing around. You know, the embellishing phase is one of the slower phases of crafting. I like how I have this like partially done thing. So. That's too big to go on this album. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm I'm going to cut these out. Now, the people who wanted me to do something with the cayenne pepper cardstock, I was thinking about maybe something back to schoolish, but the other option would be something like for fall. Sage, yeah, you should be able to download your order PDF. If you, all you have to do to get anything you've ever bought is send the PayPal transaction number to sales@kathrynscraps.com and ask for a new link, or an invitation. Just and then that's all you need to do, to get a new one. Are you checking your spam folder? All right, hold on one second, guys. All right, I have returned. My mom is buying a new phone, so fear not. So I'm answering questions about that periodically. All right. She emailed me, texted me today saying she wants to get a note. That she has a note 4, and she wants to know if she should get a note 10, if that's what they're on now. And, you know, I should have said, yeah, go for it. And then that would have been the extent of my involvement. But I had to open my big mouth and suggest that she save some money and get a Pixel 4 or a Pixel 3a instead. So you reap what you sow. I'm trying to be good though. All right, so I have a little piece of paper stuck in my, all right, this piece is big enough, so I'm going to cut it off. All right, so this is a start. Okay, now I'm going to get this, it all starts with family. And I'm going to put tape on the back of it so that all the pieces, once I cut them out, will have tape on them. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But I was thinking about cell phones because we bought, like I said, had to buy new cell phones because our phones, we had Huawei phones, and of course there's a bunch of drama with that, so we had to get phones kind of short notice. So we ended up getting the Google Pixel 3a because it was cheap but still had all the features that we wanted. And they've been really good. I think that we may kind of be in a little bit of a holding pattern as far as phones go now, where we're not going to see the leaps and bounds in technology that we have been, and people are going to be more inclined to hold on to their phones for a while. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. To not have that pressure. Now, of course, companies being companies may find ways to push us towards new phones. Of course, Apple's already been caught doing that. So by, having planned obsolescence, it's called. So we'll have to stay on our toes. But it'll be nice to be out of this loop of, oh, well, your phone's 2 years old, it doesn't work anymore, so you gotta get a new one. None of your apps are gonna work. The technology is leaps and bounds ahead. All right, so I'm gonna cut it, I think halfway through this one so that I have 3 mostly full ones and 1 partial one. All right, and let me measure what this is because I want to make this piece a little short of that, and we're going to turn it into a little banner. So these are 4 1/4, it looks like. So I'm going to cut like a 4 1/4, 4-inch banner off of this. So cut this to 4 inches, and then I'm going to cut it to probably 1/2 inch. And to make an easy banner, you just cut straight in from the end and then cut from the corner to the top of the triangle you just made on both sides. And that makes a quick and easy little banner. And what we're probably going to do is layer these two together like so, and then arrange the letters on this. So the first things I'm going to do are ink these 2 pieces. All right. So I'm going to put a piece of 3/8 inch tape on the back of this. And then I can layer these 2 together. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know. This isn't, how do I want to do this? I'll just do it like this. All right. Okay, so now those are together. So now we just need to ink these. And what we can do possibly to save some room is get rid of the all and say it starts with family instead. And that may just be what we need to get everybody onto this little banner here. And it'll be all nicely decorated. Woo! So I'm going to put the "it" down next at the front. Okay. Now, if we're going to do "it all starts with family," no, that's not going to fit. So we'll do "it starts with family." All right. And that's going to enable us to use this little sentiment that was a little too long for our page in a cute way. Okay, so what projects are you glitter goddesses working on right now? I have so many projects going on right now. I think I have too many going on right now because it's like that part of the reason we're doing this one is like I've got to at least get the first Dorian pocket done so it doesn't hang over my head forever. So, all right, so we've got this now. Just need to add a line of tape at the top. You're doing split decision and you can't pick your pattern paper. Oh no, what paper? You can't choose a collection, or you chose a collection and it's not working for you as well as you would like. Which problem is it? All right, so I'm going to stick this down. Perfect. That's cute. All right. Let's get this owl done next. Dun 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 dun. Can't choose a paper collection because I feel like the company that I really like as far as giving you lots of options for embellishments, I think Simple Stories does a good job with that. I really think they always have done a good job with that, and I think that's because they started with that snap or whatever, where everything was going it was kind of like Project Life. And I guess they still have Snap. They didn't get rid of it. But Snap's like a Project Life sort of thing. So they always have lots of cards and embellishments in their collections. Although I don't know if they're your style. They're a little cleaner. Well, they can be. I used them recently in that Christmas album that we did, the free Christmas album. Simple Stories. That's one company that does a good job. Companies that have good embellishments. Well, Echo Park, they have full collections and then they have just paper packs. In their full collections, they do a pretty good job with embellishing. But they don't do that for every paper pack, so you have to be careful. Make sure you pick one that they did it for. And then just in general, I find Echo Park could be a little harder to work with than some other companies. Who else does a good job with embellishments? I mean, some companies can do a good job and then other times they don't. Like, of course, if you are going to buy embellishments instead of using the paper as embellishment, there's always Prima. Okay, got that down. I like this, but I don't necessarily like this. I put it here because I wanted some peach, because there's a little bit of peach on there, and this is kind of overall dark. But it's not like, I'm not loving it. I think maybe we can do something else, or maybe just put The Greatest Legacy and leave it at that. Okay, so who else? I mean, I did use a lot of Graphic 45 before. What's the other paper companies? What paper companies have I used a lot of? Let me think. Hello, Annette. How are you? Well, I've been seeing Stamperia or Stamperia. I think it's Stamperia a lot lately. And I've never heard of it before Priya started doing her album with it and posting it on the Facebook group. So that shows you how in the loop I am. Who else have I used? Photoplay Paper is a company I've used. Bo Bunny. Bo Bunny does a good job with embellishments, actually. Both embellishments you can buy and the paper being usable. I don't know what's going on with them recently. I'm really out of the loop as far as paper goes because I told you that, you know, I had so much paper that I hadn't used, and I'm trying to go an entire year without using paper, which I'm almost, or without buying paper, which I did do in the sense that I so far have not bought any pre-printed crafting paper in 2019. That being said, I did buy some digital collections. And I did buy, you know, the blank paper to print digital collections that I bought and digital collections that I was given. So I didn't totally no buy, you know, I didn't quite make it. But so, I mean, by the like most literal interpretation, you know, yeah, I didn't physically go and physically buy paper. But I found that one of the best ways to keep myself from buying paper when I don't need any more paper is to, and the new fancy colored cardstock. Well, that doesn't count, Jill, because I only bought that because of you guys. So, there. If I didn't have this show, I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have bought it. So, it's your fault. That was for you. That was for you. So I'm not counting the cardstock. So there. And you can't make me. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jill. I'm glad you appreciate my sacrifice. My huge sacrifice. So I found out that they are remaking Walker Texas Ranger. Or at least they're filming a pilot or something, but it doesn't have a network yet. No network has picked it up or purchased it or whatever. All right, so I think, oh, so that's too long. So that, my idea that we could maybe put the banner, the together banner coming out from behind the house. Well, maybe. We might be able to. Okay. Can I zoom in a little? Yes. I can zoom in a little. It's a little awkward for me to zoom, but I can come in a little bit, especially for something this small. I just have to remember to get rid of it again. The one thing I don't love about this camera is zoom. All right. So now if I get out of frame, which I may, it happens. Then, you know, just let me know. Because mostly what reminds me to stay in frame is, well, it's not on the frame anymore, but the numbers bar. I try to keep my hands above the numbers. So I use the Logitech Brio. The Logitech Brio is a very expensive webcam, but it's a not very expensive for HD 4K Ultra HD camera. So it's expensive for a web camera, but compared to other 4K Ultra HD cameras, it's not expensive, if that makes sense. So we wanted to upgrade the camera to, you know, be doing the best we could do. But we needed something that would be kind of streaming friendly. That's the other thing, is a lot of 4K cameras are not streaming friendly. And that wasn't like, you know, $8,000 or whatever. Camera companies are proud of their stuff, friends. They are proud of their stuff. I mean, I guess they should be. It's not like I know how to make a camera. So, there you go. Brio, B-R-I-O. I always think of French toast because of brioche when I say it. And if you're curious how I have it look down on me like this, I tape it to a microphone stand. Just get like a crummy used a microphone stand wherever. You don't need a nice one because the webcams are so small, they don't weigh anything. All right, so with the house cut out, it's definitely too long. All right, so that's fine. So we've got the little home sweet home banner that we can put on the house somewhere, but that's not quite enough. You know, I want a little extra something going on, because otherwise it's like, it looks like I just stuck a house, you know. Okay. I could cut out the little houses. That's one thing I could do. They're a lot tinier though, so which is okay. It might give, like, you know, baby how like it's like a house of or a family of houses. But we might be able to find something else, like maybe this postcard. And normally when I print my own collections, like I did print this one, I resize embellishments so that they're bigger. Because I find companies include, like, these are all so tiny. a lot of little smaller embellishments that I don't really use on their sticker sheets. And I just was in such a hurry to get a stream out for the hurricane because I was so upset and wanted to do something that I didn't do that this time. So I'm stuck with lots of tiny stuff, you know. So the postcard could work if I cut it down. Which, you know, I don't know if I want to do that either. So let me set that up there for a second. Let me look at my 3x4 cards and see. No. Now this, I could cover up the words and we could just have the hearts coming out of it. So that's an option. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this so many stories out. Because it works with the house, you know, because houses have stories and families have stories. And then I'm just going to stick this here. And that'll work. That'll be a nice little cluster. All right. So, okay, let me make myself a little space to work here. Oh, the smaller together, this together. Yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked too. That's another good idea. I'll just use all these little pieces because I already kind of like how they look. But that would have been a good solution as well if I'd seen it sooner. Thank you, Lexi. All right, so I get so wrapped up in my little world, I don't always see you guys' suggestions in a timely fashion. All right. Maybe I'll make my 2020 goal to be better about seeing the chat. Being better about seeing the chat would have saved me a lot on Thursday afternoon. Yes, I made a family, yes. So Margaret Ann said, didn't you make a family album with a family paper that poked fun at everyone? Yes. That was the Family Secrets album, and it was one of the albums that just got converted from FLV to MP4, so you can watch it in the box preview mode without downloading it. Because with the FLV files, you had to download them and then open them with an FLV player. Yep. So that's in there. It's in there. It's in the Ustream folder. So if you have access to archives, I am in the middle of a project where I'm converting all FLV folder videos in the archives to MP4. So I started with all paid classes and they're all done. And then like anything people, you know, bought over the years. So those are finished. And then I did the Ustream Archives folder, and it's also finished. It's totally done. And Fran helped with the Ustream Archives folder, so you can appreciate Fran if you would like to appreciate Fran right now. So, Fran, we appreciate you. Thank you. So thanks to Fran for helping with that folder. And I'm on a break now because it's very, very time consuming to do those. So I'm on a little bit of a break to get caught up on stuff I need to get caught up on. Because when I do those, I cannot do anything else. I can't do sneaky shows. I can't work on projects because sitting at a desk and you know, having my computer constantly working on the conversion and all that stuff, it's just a lot for me. So you guys know my body has more limitations than I would like. So I am going to take a break, I think, until 2020, so that the other folder will not get done this year. My plan is to not get it done this year. That one's half and half. You know, FLV and MP4, so it's not going to be quite as big of a project, but it's still going to be a big project. So I'm just going to give myself some rest and recovery time. Okay. And also to get caught up on projects, I've got to get the Super Brag Book Album Basics Guide done. And that'll be my last my last thing for the year as far as paid tutorials. I think that'll be the last one. So one more paid tutorial, one more tutorial that I'll sell this year, and then it'll just be wrapping up everything else. Because I mean, we did a lot. We've got half the fun to finish. The portrait version, which we recently restarted, and I think my brain finally is working. Is the new kitten trying to tell him something about his choices? The new kitten's like, this is not my favorite. I gotta say it's not my favorite. Now that you finished Catch a Tag, you gotta do baby albums. I know. One of the Super Brag books is gonna have to be a baby album. All right. Yes, and then 2020 is going to be remaster. That's going to be the big thing in 2020. Is the remasters. So that'll be what we spend probably most of 2020 on. Because I think I can realistically do one album a quarter. And if I do one album a quarter, I won't be rushed. And you will all have plenty of time to stay current if you want to stay current. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. To do one album. How many albums did I do in 2019? Come Fly With Me. We did Half the Fun, Split Decision, and we'll do Super Brag Book. So that's 4. Yeah. So that's what's realistic for me, I think, 4. So that'll be my goal. So with that in mind, we'll do, let's see, I have ideas for Catch a Tag, convertible box set, and we also had sort of a group effort of ideas for Hometown Summer. So those will probably be the 4 that we go with. Now, if I only did one version of albums, I could probably do more albums, but I kind of like doing variations, so I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on if you'd rather have a larger variety of albums in terms of the page design, or if you think 4 albums is enough and you like seeing a variety of papers. All right, so we did it. We got the inside done. So now we have that finished. So what's left is to do this. So it goes this, this. So that's what's left to do. So we have to do this little section. So what I'm going to do, just so these videos don't get too long, is I'm going to do a recording break here, and then we'll come in and do this last part. All right, so I think we're going to finish this today. No problem. No problem. All right, be right back.